What's up guys, Sal here. So the Galaxy S21 Unpacked event is exactly a couple of months away from now. But in a massive leak bomb, every detail about the S21 Plus and Ultra have been revealed, which shows Samsung is planning some meaningful and big upgrades, especially to the S21 Ultra, while also planning to lower the prices compared to the S20 variants, keeping the pandemic in mind and also to better compete with Apple's latest iPhone 12 models. First up, let's start with the display. It's coming from Max Weinbach, who as you know has a very good track record. The S21 Ultra will have a 6.8-inch 120Hz Quad HD Plus LTPO panel with a peak brightness of 1600 nits, higher than the 1400 nits on the S20 Ultra. Samsung is also set to improve the display's contrast ratio to 3,000,000:1, up from 2,000,000:1 on the S20 Ultra. LTPO display means it can adapt the refresh rate from 1 Hz to 120 Hz depending upon the content is being displayed, thus extending the battery life. In short, the S21 Ultra will have the best display that we have ever seen on a smartphone. But the same cannot be said for the S21 and S21 Plus, as both of them will feature a Full HD Plus 120Hz panel and its LTPS, which means it will have a fixed refresh rate either at 60 or 120Hz. The display sizes are 6.2 inches for the S21 and 6.7 inches for the Plus variant. As for the camera, the S21 and Plus will have the same camera array as the S20 series, a triple camera setup with 12MP ultra-wide, 12 main and 64MP telephoto. But the S21 Ultra will see significant improvements with a new camera setup. The specs are 108MP main camera, which is an improved second-gen version compared to the S20 Ultra, 12MP ultra-wide and 2 telephoto sensors, one for short-range zoom, 3x optical with 10MP, and another is for long-range zoom, and it's not 5x but a massive 10x periscope zoom camera. ICUniverse says they're using 10MP with dual pixel focus, which is the strongest periscope zoom camera out there, even better than Huawei's Mate 40 Pro, which also has 10x periscope zoom camera. This also means Samsung is bringing back the 100x space zoom capabilities. They're also using laser autofocus, something we saw on the Note 20 Ultra. Other camera improvements include 4K at 60fps from all the cameras, which was limited to the main sensor in previous gen Samsung flagships. Samsung Super Steady Stabilization will get 60fps recording capabilities. And also, just like the Google Pixel, the camera will automatically switch between 30fps to 60fps depending upon the lighting conditions, since 60fps require more light than 30 and isn't always ideal at low light conditions. Also, there will be an option for 8K at 30fps video recording instead of 24fps on the S20 and Note 20 Ultra. Samsung is also adding dual recording mode, where you can record out of the front and rear camera at the same time. The night mode has been improved with more manual controls, and the moon mode has been improved as well. The phone will use EIS to make sure it's in the frame while taking the photo, which will also lock onto the moon to take better photos of the moon. Next up, the ultra-wideband chip, which debuted with the Note 20 Ultra, will also be seen on the S21 Plus and S21 Ultra. S21 won't have it. Samsung is planning to launch its own SmartThings tags like the unannounced Air tags, and UWB can also be used to track them. Samsung will also be adding support for digital car keys on SmartThings. As for the chipset, all the S21 variants will have Snapdragon 875 and Exynos 2100. Which one you'll get depends on the market, but the good news is, Max's sources say the Exynos 2100 will be on par or better than the Snapdragon 875, thus ending the performance disparity Exynos users suffered for years. Also, Max says the Exynos 2100 will be a more power-efficient chip than the prior generations, thus improving battery life thanks to the 5nm nodes. As for the materials, the S21 Plus and Ultra will use a glass back, but the S21 will have plastic to keep the cost down. They're using plastic on the S21 because, as per Samsung, the consumer response to the plastic material has been more positive than what they expected. These are the color options. The Ultra is getting only black and silver, but the silver is more like the aura glow on the Note 10 as per the report. I'm not sure how it's gonna look in real life, but it does have my attention. And by the way, the back and the frame and camera bump will come in different colors depending on the colorway of the device. For example, the black color will have a black frame and camera module, but violet and pink colors will have a copper frame and camera, and white color will have a bronze frame and camera, and more. Here are the battery capacities. All the S21s will have a minimum of 25 watt charging support, while the Ultra will charge up to 45 watts. All in all, the S21 Ultra is getting some major improvements, while the other two S21s are getting iterative upgrades with more or less the same design as the S20, except that wraparound camera. This allows Samsung to lower the retail prices considerably. Max says he expects the S21 to start somewhere around $700, while it's around $1,100 or $1,200 for the Ultra, which will be amazing if that actually happens. Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments, and as always, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.